backdrop on there. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Camera Show. To a very well-produced and slick camera show tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about travels with a camera. Of course, all these Super 8 cameras are good enough, you know, in and of themselves, and the more bells and whistles they get on them, the heavier they get, and the more complicated they get, and the more difficult to travel with they get, which is why it is very nice to be able to put a small camera in a bag and just pack it up and off you go on your travels. Now, I have spoken in the past about my favorite camera for this. Of course, it is the Euming Mini 5, and we're going to have a lot of Euming Mini 5 action to come. Old Radio says AV Geeks just ended. Okay, if that just... Oh, yeah, this being AV Geeks. Yes. I get it. So, we're going to talk about traveling cameras, and I'm going to show you some places I've been with my little camera and some footage I got from that. Then we're going to look at some footage I took on the other day with a workshop that I did with some lovely pupils. And we went out and we took a whole bunch of cameras outside, which was not a good idea because it was raining like hell. But we stood under a shelter and we got lots of interesting street scenes and shots from the from our vantage point. And it's interesting to see which of these cameras worked well in the sort of grim light with 100 ASA film. Noptop says, mini camera, I'm in. Definitely. There'll be space for the mini camera everywhere. But what else did I do this week before we get fully into it? Let's get into my little box here. Wink. What else did I do? Well, let's look at my little photo book here. We did Exploding Cinema. Hooray! It was on Saturday. I presented Exploding Cinema, and it was a great show. And it was attended by many down at the Cinema Museum. There's some pictures of it, some long exposure pictures. Actually, some of these were like 8 seconds long because it was quite dark in there. But it all came out very nicely. And that in the middle there is, it's called the Tower of Power, we call it. It's just basically a whole stack of projectors and everything. And on Sunday, I had a little walk, and we went to the Thames to look at that boat again, that galleon, which was pretty cool. And I took this picture near Tower Bridge, which I thought was quite nice, like a crow looking at a guy across Tower Bridge. Yes, very nice picture there. And then, of course, I did my workshop the other day. Back to work for me, and this was the aftermath, as some of you on my Instagram might have seen it. Yeah, this is, believe me, these were not just thrown in a pile. They were carefully placed where they were because we just needed the space. Don't worry, all those cameras are very well looked after. Went through every one of them with my workshop crew. Right. Now, let's talk about travel with a camera. Where did I go recently? Well, it's been a while since I did any camera shows. Well, I mean, apart from the ones I just did. But before this current slew of camera shows, I did a little trip to Berlin, of all places. I had a wonderful time, and I went to a place which is really a pilgrimage for anyone who goes to Berlin, who's into cameras, and that is the Click and Sir shop. This is their website, a butcher shop full of choice cuts, they say. Yeah, well, Old Ray says, look at them all. But yeah, look at these all. They're all very, very, very nicely presented there in the old Click and Sir shop. So yeah, that's Jürgen Losau on the right, the proprietor of said shop. He also publishes the Super 8 magazine. He's got people working on them. Those Berlin people, they're very well serviced by Jürgen. And yeah, I hung out with him. He took this rather nice picture of me, there, which he put on his Instagram. And what's that put up against my eye? It's me Euming Mini 5. That's right. And did I take any footage with that Euming? Of course I did. Let's have a look at it. So there's with my family. Macro malfunction there. Whoops. Having Kaffeehauser. Another little focal malfunction there. I'm not sure what happened there. And again with the focus. Luckily I zoomed in. I must have been in macro mode. There we go. That's in the Sanssouci Palace outside Berlin and Potsdam. Some sparrows. There we go. That's my lovely Sissy and Lily. So that was what I did in Berlin, and the camera behaved absolutely impeccably. And then, oops, we don't want that. And then I went to, well, actually, did I go before or after? I'm trying to remember here. Maybe this was before. Yeah, I went to Inverness. I went walking with some friends in a place called Glen Affric. Shall we see where that is? Let's see where that is. That's in, so this is Scotland here, and this is Glen Affric, not far from Inverness, right there in the Highlands. And we walked all the way around this Loch Benamedon. And yeah, and for that I took the old Euming Mini 5 as well, and I went to well, what did I load into it? What did I load into? I know what I loaded into. I loaded Fomapan R100, which is a black and white reversal stock. Not Albert Cadis does not sound like a Besserwisser, but I think it's pronounced something like Euming. Yes. The German pronunciation is Euming. I just, you know, when I see EU, it's just automatic. I call it Euming. But hey, let's see how the Germans pronounce Bell and Howell. Bell und Havel, probably. Anyway, so yeah, so I went to Scotland with some friends, and I took the old Euming Mini 5. Happy now? And let's see a bit of footage from that. Linda B said, "Oh yes, Fomapan. Yeah. Let's switch that off. Whoops." And so here's the... There we go. Now, of course, I had a few problems. Look, there's some jitter there. The Euming was not properly pulling the film through because it was causing this. Look at that. Look at that jittering up and down. That's usually when it's having trouble. Something's dragging on the film cartridge. Oh dear. So what are we going to do about that? I don't know what we'll do about that. We're going to test that thing out. There we go. Black and white footage there. That's an old shepherd's hut, apparently. And finishing the walk, all of like 2 miles. No, it was a long way. It's quite a long way. There we go. And that was the absolutely rubbish car that we got. Flying over says, looks good. Wait to see these bits. There's some very nice footage here. It's on the beach. Still jittery, though. That looks like an album cover, doesn't it? It was a lovely weekend, I've got to say. It was like one of the hottest weekends of the year up there. It was well hot. I was completely overdressed for it. There we go. All right, so there's the footage from Inverness. Now, as you saw, there was a wee problem with the old jittering there. So I thought what I'll do is I'm going to test that Euming. I'm paranoid now. I'm going to test it out, and I'm going to put it in I'm going to put the same cartridge in all 3 of my Mini 5s. And I'm going to try one after the other and see how that looks. How did it look? Well, let's have a look at the footage there. So, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Oh dear. It's all going wrong. No, it's all going fine. I've got some amazing footage from Berlin. That's right. Yes, I forgot to show you this. I went to a show. Amazing show called Chroma, K-H-R-O-M-A. In fact, let's have a look. Let's go into the screening room. I took some show. Basically, where have I gone? What it was an exhibition of artistic audiovisual art, which was all somehow interactive with the audience as they looked at it. So it was a yeah, it was a whole bunch of really, really cool stuff, projections and sensors and effects. Well, let's have a look. I filmed this on my phone, although there's a section in the middle that I filmed on that 200T film. Let's have a look there. Very cool. That's see, I'm just basically as cameras, and they take your I don't know, they take the image and they somehow do it with oh, that's just a skull with loads of ferro liquid coming out of it. That was pretty freaky. And this thing, you wobble these things and they go all over the place. Wow. Yeah, so there's this absolutely amazing effect here. These are these spinning things, and there were like 9 of them in a row. And when you look down at it, they're all coordinated, the visuals. So it's basically they're making like 3D visuals in space. I tell you, your Star Trek style holodeck is not far away, people. We're already nearly there. I'd say I'd give another 15 years and you'll have 3D projections right in front of you, looking like an absolutely normal scene until you touch it. Old Ray says, whoa, yeah. Now this is amazing. This was a whole bunch of, I should probably pause it here. This was a whole bunch of LEDs, ropes, like strings of LEDs hanging from the ceiling. And then, well, let's see, I can show you the picture of the main picture of what it looks like. It looks like this. Here. So that's someone standing in front of the thing. Let's turn the music down for a sec. That's it. Looked like that. All these strings of LEDs hanging from the ceiling, and they're all finagled up so that they would actually take a camera would take an image of you, and it would translate it into there. Let's see my footage here. Where is my oh, second screen? There it is. Okay, right. So let's just play this again. Yeah. Look at that. So it looks, and there was some sound effects as well. Looked absolutely amazing. You walk past it and all this lit up. It was just super, super cool. Right, now the same thing, same exhibition. I've got the old Super 8 camera. We've got these images. It looks amazing on suit. This is 200T. I was worried the color correction would be wrong, but no, look at it. It looks even better than my mobile, by the way. I'll hazard a guess. Amazing. Anyway, unfortunately, the place is now shut down. The exhibition's not there anymore. But I can recommend if you're ever in Berlin, find out what these people are up to, and go to the next thing they do. Whoop. Yeah, so that was the KHROMA Chroma. Right, let's get back onto testing these cameras, because as I said before, I had a little problem with my Euming not pulling the foam back. By the way, Lyndon B, new stock Super 8 foam pan, only seen standard 8 film available in foam pan. What it is, I've talked about this before, but there's a guy in Russia who will take foam pan double Super 8 and he will slit it down the middle, and then he will do some package up the 2 halves of it, and then when you get it, you have to load it yourself into one of those Soviet era reloadable Super 8 cartridges. So yeah, technically you can get Fomapan R100 in Super 8 if you buy it from my mate Pavel. I think I've put his link up in the past. I ought to do it as a permanent link. Now, Lindsay says, "Oh, thanks, Ben." Well, yes, you're welcome. What's what's everyone talking about? Oh, Olivia says, finally found out the SX70 I bought last week works. Well, my God, you've had a good run with those, I gotta say. Right, now we're going to get on to some of these multi-camera testing. Yes, we are. And we're going to look at, firstly, those Eumigs, Eumings. Oh. I'm going to call them Eumings for the in respect to my audience. I'm going to call them Eumings for the rest of the evening. So, what have we got first? Well, like I said, we've got the Eumings there, and there's camera 1, looked all right. Camera 2 looked all right, and camera 3, oh, a little bit fuzzy there. So I'm going to show you all the other ones I tested. So here's the other one. So I don't know about the Eumings. I mean, they seem to work, but the third one, I mean, I may have got the focus wrong. Who knows? Ah, well, let's move on. So, what's the next one on our list? It is, of course, the beast that is the Canon 814 XLS. Yes, this is a very popular one from my workshop attendees. A lot of them like to go out with this one. Luckily, it hasn't broken yet. So that's what this is what that looks like. The Canon 814. We'll be seeing a bit more from this one. Not bad. This is all shot about f2.4. So yeah, I mean, grey day. All right, Rollei SL81. What is that? Well, that's this. One of my pupils brought their own, which they like to do, of course, which is fantastic because we tested it and it works. I've never used a Rollei Super 8 camera before. I didn't even realize they were in the Super 8 business, but they've made a few. So this is the footage from the Rollei. I think it's a German company, is it not? I think so, yeah. Yeah, did all right. Pretty sharp lens. A little bit of grain there, but then again, it was a piss awful day. Hello, who's that idiot? Right, Canon 814 Auto Zoom. Everyone loves this one. I believe I featured it on my very first camera show and probably talked about it a couple of times since. Flying O says, I like my Rollei Super 8. Oh, we've got a Rollei owner in the house. Well, I've got to say, you know, she got it for only €5. So for a €5 camera, got to say, you know, did work. So here's the Canon 814X AZ Auto Zoom. Looks a little bit dimmer. I think the sun filter was on. Ah, the Euming Mini 5. Well, let's see. So here's the Mini 5 I keep talking about. We actually put the handle on it this time for a change. So the Mini 5, and here's the footage from the Mini 5. Not bad at all. Flying Host. I don't remember the model name of mine. Old radio's the GOAT. Which one was he talking about? Probably the XLS. We're back on the Canon 814 XLS here. Now, we had a bit of fun with this one. Here's what we did in this shot here. The Canon 814 XLS has a little button on here that says SM. SM. It does not stand for sadomasochism. It does not stand for Spaniards and Mexicans. It stands for slow motion. That's true. It is. So you can push that in while you're filming without even stopping, and it'll go from 18 frames a second all the way up to something like 54 frames a second. Don't quote me on that. And so the effect of that, of course, is that the people are walking normally, and then when you push the button in, it all goes suddenly slow. Watch this. Here we go. It's in a second here. And in a minute. So there we go, into slow. And then here we go. Watch this. In a sec. Here we go. Fast, slow, and then back to normal, and then slow again. Nice effect. Very nice effect. I mean, the Canon 814 XS, it's got it all. But is it the best of all of these? Now, there's an indoor shot. We got inside. It really started to rain there. Linda B says, wow, new still camera out from Rollei. Good God, they're still making them. Good for them. Nice that they're even in business anymore. So Canon A14XL indoors, 100 ASA film. We tried to do a macro shot. It all went a little bit pear-shaped. And then, why not stick that into the Beaulieu 4008 ZM2. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, we got out the real goat, the real G080. I gotta say, you know, there's a lot of there's a lot of talk about which is better, you know, this one or this one. And I've got, you know, the Canon 814XLS is an excellent camera. It deserves its reputation. It works really hard. It's very well designed. It's a tank, and it deserves everything they say about it. However, the Beaulieu, it's like it's like if this is Beethoven, the Beaulieu is Mozart. Okay, if this Canon is Jack Nicholson, the Beaulieu is Marlon Brando. You see where I'm going with this? If the Canon 814 is Paul McCartney, the Beaulieu is John Lennon. The thing is, you know, the Canon, as I said, great camera, very, very good at what it does, very well engineered, but the Beaulieu is like made of camera. You know, it is another level of cameras. It is sort of effortlessly good. Although I say that, they put a lot of effort went into making them. You know, so basically I'm saying this camera is made of camera. It's a bit of a tautology. Let's see the proof of that. And this is what I discovered. Well, this is an opinion I came to when I saw a piece of film that I'm about to show you now. So here's the Beaulieu. Just an amazing sharpness. Look at that. Look at that. That's the Beaulieu doing a macro there. How sharp that is. Look how much detail it is. The grain looks even smaller. And this is the same roll of film. How did it do that? It's that Schneider Kreutzak lens. Anyway, before we go to the really cool stuff, here's the old Sankyo ES44XL. The old reliable. We put a lens, put a flash on the top of that. And we had a bit of fun there. I'll show you in a second. So here's the without the flash, and in a second the flash is going to fire. I freeze framed it. There, see? See that? That was a little bit better, more detail there. That's with basically a fill flash, I'd guess you call it. The flash in the daytime, without with. What do you think looks better? Tell me in the comments. It's all right. Don't waste your time. The Sankyo ES44XL, bit of a step down from the Beaulieu, but not bad. Beaulieu, old radio. Still without one, says Old Radios. Well, you know what? If I ever want to sell mine, I'll see if you want it. You know, it's film tested and it's good. Right, now we're going to have some fun, although that's completely blurred. We went to 70 frames a second. Yeah, we had some slow-mo fun with the Beaulieu while we're at it. So this was the UN54. This is not Fomapan, as we saw earlier. This was UN54 black and white negative, 100 ISO. We shot at 70 frames a second, which is as fast as you can put these Beaulieus, and sometimes they just die when you try and do that. So we had a bit of risk there, especially if it's towards the end of a roll, because if it runs out of film and it keeps going at that speed, it can really knacker it. f1.8. Now, I worked it out. 70 frames a second, playback at 18 frames a second is 0.38 speed. So roughly 1/3 speed. And of course, I think, there we go, water coming out the tap. Look how sharp that is. Look at that. I'm going to stop that for a minute and remind you. f1.8. And look how sharp it is. None of that stupid fuzziness that you get when you're aperture wide open on some cameras. That's why this is such an amazing camera. The Canon, yes, it'll be very good at fully wide open, but this is just exquisite. Okay, now we're gonna have some fun. I threw a mug into the water. Hey, 78 frames a second, and I thought, well, let's have a bit more fun, even more fun. So I digitally slowed that down. That's 70 frames a second. I slowed down the computer. I slowed it down another 3 times. So I guess this is 1/9 of the speed, or just over, yeah, 1/9 of a speed. And bosh. Very nice. Look how sharp that is. This was at 70 frames a second. It was doing that good. So I thought, well, let's really go for it. Let's slow it down another 3 times to one, I don't know, 0.042. Way. Very nice. Wow. What can I tell you? The Beaulieu has got to win. Mike Rook says, shame the compression can't be changed in the El Crapo scanners. They could do with decent firmware hack. Oh, tell me about it. There is some sort of firmware hack, isn't there? With the Wolverine scanner? I thought someone had managed that, but you know, it's polishing a turd at this point, isn't it? It's just you know, it's so annoying. Those Wolverine scanners, yeah, it wouldn't have cost them much to put a better camera into the damn thing, or at least put some better hardware or software. You know, they did all that work, and anyway, so there are people who are rejigging their Wolverines to put better machinery into it. It's just annoying there's not a scanner that's better and maybe a little bit more expensive. But what are you going to do? It's a useful tool. Right. Now, just before we go into the in tonight's movie entertainment, because we're going to show a very interesting little Super 8 film in a minute. Linda B says, yes, even a glass lens. The thing doesn't even have a glass lens? Oh my God. It's even worse than I imagined. Oh dear. Anyway, so what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to plug something now. I am going to plug something. I'm doing a show. I'm doing a show of my own stuff. I've never done this before, but the people from My Eyes, who are a screening club in London, they feature a different filmmaker every week, every time they do a show. And finally, they got round to me. And so I'm putting together a show of all my short films, not all of them, just the best of them over the last 40 years. I guess I started making when I was 13. And it's called No Off Switch, the peculiar competency of Ben Slotover. I don't like to blow my own horn, but there's going to be some cool stuff at this. So if you're in London on the Wednesday, the 13th of November, come down to No Off Switch. It's only there for one night, and it's only £6. That's how valuable my my stuff is. It's about right, I think £6. You know, it's price of a pint. Right. Enough of that. And next week, this is very exciting. Next week will be my 50th show. Hooray! That's right. I've done. This is the 49th. Well, as you can see up there. This is my 49th show. I started them during lockdown, and I've carried on and off ever since. So it's been 4 years. My God. Got to say, I looked at some of my old shows recently, and my God, I've aged. Jesus, only 4 years, and I think I've aged like at least 5 years. Right. Old Rare says, hooray, hooray. Oh, for doing the show? I don't know what I shouldn't keep picking up fag ends of comments and conversations between each other. It gets everything very confusing. Okay, are we ready for for a live show? Not a live show, for some live film. Albert says, so there will be a giveaway next time. There certainly will, Albert. I'm giving away some kit. I'm going to give away for my 50th show. I will be giving away maybe some of the cameras I've reviewed on this show in the past. I shall be giving them away to you lucky people. And hopefully the stream won't crap out 2 minutes before showtime. All right, now, what have we got tonight? Yes, time. Yeah, get the popcorn out. That's right. What's that there? That's the projector. Well, I've got to get it ready, don't I? And then I'll tell you what we got. There we go. Turn the main light off. Boom, off. Oops. And I've got to turn this off as well. All right. Let's go into the screening room. Remjet here, just in time for the screening. Yay! Sorry if you had to, if it was a bit difficult to find us. Ugh. I've already. Whoops, not that. Let's get our DSLR on. Uh-oh. That's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all fine. Should be having a picture of the wall in a second. Switched it off instead of on. Oh, everything's going pear. Yay, there we are. And to prove that this is a live screening, there's my hand. I don't know why I keep having to prove it. I mean, I don't think anyone doubts that I'm. This is not live. Right. Let's put some music on, and I'll start the show. Let's see. Come on, music. Oh god, this is not this. All right, there we go. That'll do. No, something different. Something a bit more spacey. I don't care anymore. Right, let's go with that. Let's start the projector and then we'll see what we got. Okay. Here we go. And it's the Jetsons. It's the Jetsons, and but it's all been tinted. It's been colorized. That's right. This was from the Exploding Cinema vault, and it looks like at some point someone has made some very nice looking. Let's get this away. Let's get me. Yeah, so they've made they've run basically kind of felt tips over the Jetsons, and they've colorized it in this interesting manner. Flying O says, "Love it." A Ken's Films print. What's that? What do you mean? It says, "I'll pull the plug." Yeah. Hey, Mike just came in. Filmboy24's in the house. Hey, Mike. Yeah, we're looking at a bit of an old black and white Jetsons cartoon. And if you've ever seen the Jetsons, was basically like the Flintstones, but set in 2024, which is where's our flying cars now? Anti-gravity boots and the rest of it. So, if you ever watch their intro theme and intro sequence, it is absolutely the inspiration for The Simpsons. Even the theme tune sounds quite Simpsonsy. You know, you see the whole family get introduced in the yeah. So, oh, Ken Films like a Black Hawk like company. Okay, like Walton Films or one of those people. Yeah, possibly. I do like it with the colors. I think it makes a definite improvement. So yeah, if you ever watch the go on YouTube after this and watch the first minute or two of the Jetsons, and you'll see exactly like the Simpsons. They might even have done a piss take, the Simpsons. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a bit of an up and down show tonight with the stream in the beginning and all the rest of it. But Noptop says, "What's the process to a color wash like this?" Now, I believe as the film was being fed into the projector, someone had permanent markers and were just like holding it against the film, like a yellow one or a red one. and it might have done it 2 or 3 times, like once per run. But yeah, and as you can see, some of this ink has kind of dried in a strange pattern. So it might even have been wet when it went through the projector. I really I pity the projector that had to deal with this lot. Okay, the Jetsons. I stand corrected. Old Radio says the Jetsons takes place in 2062. That old guy character is probably my age. 2062. Oh my God. Well, yeah. You think they'll have all this in 2062? I think it'll look a little bit more like the Road than the Jetsons, to be honest. Everyone around our age in 2062 are going to be like the old guy in the post-apocalyptic dramas who gets killed very early on. Yeah, that's us, by the way. That's and the millennials are the ones probably doing the killing. Oh God, that's turned very dark, hasn't it? Yeah, nice effect. There's Grandpa Jetson there. Oh, I bet everyone's saying in 2062. Yeah. Anyway, was that it? Oh no, there's more. Well, listen, I hate to destroy the fun here, but here's my end credits. Oh. That was Ben's Camera Show 49. The one that streamed wrong. But the next show will be the 50th show spectacular. That'll be in 2 weeks. Not 1 week. 2 weeks, everyone. I need some time to get it all sorted, get it all together. And this time next week, I'm extremely busy, and I won't even be in London. So yeah, the 50th show, the end of season 5, will be on Thursday, the 17th of October. And Mike Rook says, probably an editor/viewer like the Goko for delicate art while someone cranks the handle. Yeah, that's right. It might have been done like that. That's possible. That's possible that there was one of those reel-to-reel things and they just sort of like smeared it as it went past. Barry says, great fun. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in, Barry. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Flying O, Mike Rook, Old Radios, Nop Top, Filmboy24. Mike, rewind if you want to see a real calamity of a show. And I'll see if I can tune in on Sunday. I won't be in London, but I'll have a phone on me. And he says, look forward. Yeah, so the next show, it's not just going to be all just sort of mopping up. It's not going to be a clip show. It's going to be a show of, yeah, some interesting... We're moving away from Super 8 for the last show. And we're showing you an interesting lens to put on a mobile phone and some ways of creating images through AI. And I don't just put it through Bing. Remjet says, another great season. Thanks, Ben. Well, thank you, Remjet. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And, yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks. And I might pop in on Filmboy24. Anyone who doesn't have anything to do on Sunday, drop in on Filmboy24. It's like the lounge of film people. Is that it? No, we're still on it. Ian says, see you in 2 weeks. All right. Good night, everyone. And thanks for, yeah, I already thanked you. How can I stop the stream? Oh, I found it. Hooray. All right. And from me, from the year 2064, I bid you good night. Good night. See ya.